Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you how to create our own custom blog with bootstrap theme in ASP.NET C# coding with SQL Server database. And here we got our final output. Notice right now we got 3 articles, 2 food related and 1 movies related. And in the side, notice in the category we got food 2 and movies 1. If I click food, so we got here only the food related articles only. If we want the only movies, here if I click 2, we got the food articles. If I click movies 1, we got movie articles. Home, display all the articles. If you want to read the article, read the complete article. See, this is the food article 2. Go back. And here we redirect to the butter chicken article. That's it. We have implemented to create a custom blog in ASP.NET with Bootstrap using SQL Server database. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. For this video tutorial, I am creating a new ASP.NET project. Go to File, New Project. And from the web templates, I am selecting ASP.NET Web Application and the .NET Framework I am using 4.6.1. And the code I am using Visual C#. Let's add the application name. Create project is the project name. Click OK. And from the ASP.NET templates, I'm selecting empty. Click OK. And the project is created successfully. Let's open Solution Explorer. First, in this project, I'm adding a master page. Right click the project name, add, new item. Let's add the master page. The web forms master page. The master page is the home master. Click add. And here we got our master page, which contains 2 content placeholders. The first content placeholder in the header section and the second one in the body between these div tags. Now I don't require this first one. Let's delete this. Now between this header section, I am adding the bootstrap menu theme. So to get the bootstrap themes, let's visit the getbootstrap.com website. In the Google search, I am adding getbootstrap.com. Getbootstrap.com is the official website. We can use the bootstrap themes and jQuery files, and it's an open source toolkit. We can use these bootstrap tools freely. So first I require the themes. Go to examples. Notice below the examples we have a different sample themes, which are the free ones. Just for the demo purpose, I'm adding the simple theme, which is this one, the pricing. I just require the menu only, so let's browse this one. I want only this menu bar. So to get that menu bar, right click the mouse, go to view page source. In the page source, come to the bottom. So between the body we have a theme. Just copy this part up to this div. So if you can notice here the company name. After that we have some hyperlinks and sign up button, these ones. So let's add in our project, and our company name is sample blog. This one is the home, the first link, and the second href link is food. This blog belongs to the food, movies and sports. So second column, second href link is sports, and the third one is a movies. I don't require this button, sign up button, so I'm deleting that part. That's it. We have added a simple bootstrap theme, menu theme, into our master page. Now let's add one simple web form page with master page. Solution Explorer, right click the project name, add new item. I'm selecting web form with master page. The web form page name is main page, default page. Let's add the default page, default.aspx page, add. And I'm selecting the master page, which is a home.master. Click OK. And here we got our default.aspx page. Now in this default.aspx page, I'm adding h1 tag. This is the default home page. Let's check the basic output, how it looks at designing part on the browser, Google Chrome. And here we got the output of that code, which contains in the master page above the sample block, the heading, which contains the href links, which is menu links. Below that we have the default home page. But if you check, our bootstrap menu is looking like this, but we are not getting any bootstrap theme yet. The reason, we have to add the bootstrap CDN, CSS and jQuery links into our project. So to get the latest bootstrap CDN links, again switch back to the getbootstrap.com, go back, go to home, get started. In the introduction section, if you notice here, the CSS and JS files are there. Just copy this CSS link, copy this one, and add in our master page. Stop debugging, home master. Below the title, I'm pasting the CSS link. After that, again we require the JS links, CDN links. Copy these 3 links and paste into our master page. That's it. Now let's check again the output. The bootstrap theme is added to the menu or not. Default.aspx page, Google Chrome. And here we got a new output. Notice the sample block and the hyperlinks, the home, food, sports and movies, which I have added the href links, and the sample block, which is our blog name. Below that we have the default page, default home page. Now my next step is, in the master page below the menu, I make this part into 2 layers. To make the 2 layers, again switch back to the getbootstrap.com. In the search, I'm adding layout. Now in the layout section, notice there is a grid at the side panel. Select that one, grid. Now I want the 2-column layout. Come to the bottom. I'm selecting this column. I'm selecting this grid view, the column 8 and column 4, which is this one. So what I'm doing, I'm just copying this whole part, switch to the coding part, stop debugging, go to the master page. In the form tag, between this div, I'm adding this div class containers. The first div contains the 4 columns, which I don't require. I require this, which I don't require. Delete this one. The fundamental principle of the grid system, the column contains 12 columns only. So 8 plus 4 is 12. So I'm adding this content placeholder in the first div class column 8, and this one is a sidebar. Let's check the output. We are getting the 2-column layout or not. Default.aspx page, Google Chrome. And here we got a new output after adding the grid layout, the 2 columns. This is a sidebar 1, and this is the layout column 1 and the sidebar column 2, and above that we have the menu bar. Now let's adjust the columns of the grid. Stop debugging, home.master. The column I'm adding 10 and this one is 2. The grid layers contains only 12 columns, so 10 plus 2 is 12 only. After that, in the column to the sidebar, I am adding the bootstrap list group. So I can switch back to the getbootstrap.com. Here I am searching for list. In the list group, I am selecting the example which I require. Come to the bottom. These ones. This list group I am selecting for my blog, which contains with badges. I want to display number of articles in this list group badges. So below this, a small snippet there. Copy that one and add here category, horizontal line. After that, I'm pasting that list group. Here I'm changing the heading list groups food. The second one, our blog related to the food, movies and sports. Second one is the sports, and the third one is the movies. So I'm deleting this number 14, 2 and 1. In this place I want to display the number of articles. Let's check the output again. Default.aspx page, Google Chrome. And here we got a new output after we adjust the columns, the grid columns, and we have added the category with the bootstrap list group, which contains the 3 items: food, sports and movies. And this is the content page. Now my next step, switch to the coding part. Stop debugging. In the Solution Explorer, let's add the new folder, admin folder. Right click the project name, add new folder. The folder name is admin. Enter. Let's add the web form pages into this admin folder. Right click the admin folder, add new item, web form with master page, and this one is admin login page. I'm selecting the master page, home.master. Click OK. And here we got our content placeholder h1 admin login page, horizontal line. Now after the horizontal line, I'm adding the admin credentials, admin login and password with a button control. Add center tag. In this center tag, I'm adding first table with border is equals to 1, td is the login, next td is the text box control. In the standard folder, I'm adding the text box control. I'm changing the text ID to txt admin login, and the next td next td password, and the next td which contains the password text box control, text box text password, and the text mode is equals to password. And the last one, we require the button control. After the table, I'm adding the simple button control, and the button text I'm adding login, button login, and I'm adding a bootstrap style to this button control. Again, switch back to the getbootstrap.com. Button, I'm adding the color. The primary is blue, so I'm adding this class. Copy that one and paste here. That's it. We have done the designing part in the admin login page, which contains a user admin login and password with button control. Let's check the output, how it looks on the browser Google Chrome. And here we got the output of the admin login page, which contains the login and password with a button control. Now my next step is, once the admin logins successfully to the admin panel, he can able to upload the article information in the SQL Server database. So again, switch back to the coding part, stop debugging. So once I use the login successfully, I want to go to admin panel. So let's add another web form page. Right click the admin folder, add web form with master page, admin panel, click OK. I'm selecting our website master page, which is the home.master. Click OK. And here we got the admin panel. Let's add the title h3 tag admin panel. After that, I'm adding horizontal line. Now in this admin panel, the admin can upload the article title, description, the posted date, the link URL, the web page URL. Now before adding the controls to upload the information, the article information to SQL Server database, first I require the table in SQL Server Management Studio. So let's visit SQL Server Management Studio. We'll create a new table. I just logged into my SQL Server Management Studio. Let's create a new table. I'm expanding the root folder as well as the databases. And notice here the CM, which is my user database. Let me expand the CM database folder as well as the tables folder. Now I want to create a new table in this CM database. Select the CM database, right click the mouse, new query. Let's create a table. Create table. The table name is a blog. I'm adding between the brackets the blog ID BID, which is an integer type, not null, primary key. I'm adding the identity column, which is a 1, 1. After that, a blog title and varchar 150, comma, blog category and varchar 150. And the next one, the blog description and varchar, I'm adding 300 And the next column is a blog URL, and varchar I'm adding 300. The blog URL is the web page name, and the last one is a blog posted date. I'm adding the date time data type. Let's execute to create a table. Execute, and here we got a message command completed successfully. And let's refresh the tables of the same folder database. Right click the tables folder, refresh, and here we got the dbo.blog table is added in our CM database. Let's browse the table. Right click the mouse, select top 1000 rows, and here we got the results of the newly created table blog, which contains 0 rows right now. Now let's add some blog details into this blog table from the admin panel. Again, switch back to the coding part. Now before designing part, let's switch back again to the admin login page. Once the user login password is credentials correct, I want to redirect to the admin panel. So let's first write the logic in this admin login. Switch to the design mode, double click the button control, login button control, and here we got the button click event. First, what I'm doing now, before writing the coding part in the button click event, first I require the connection string in the web.config file. For that, we open Server Explorer. Notice there is a data connections. Right click that one, add connection. Let's add our SQL server name. After adding SQL server name, I'm selecting the database name. The table I have created in the CM database, so I'm selecting CM test connection. It succeeded. Okay. And here our cm.dbo database is added into data connections. Now we require the cm.dbo data source. Right click the cm.dbo, go to properties. In the properties, there is a connection string which contains a data source. Just copy that part, open Solution Explorer. In the project, at the bottom there is a web.config file. Open that one, and let's add our connection string. Configuration, connection strings. Now in this connection string, I'm adding add name is equals to my connection is my connection string name, connection string. I'm pasting the data source which I have copied. After that, the provider name, which is a system.data.sql client. After adding the connection string in the web.config file, switch to the admin.login.aspx page. Now in the button click event, if the text admin.login.text double equals to the admin login is the admin, and the text password text is equals double equals to, I'm adding ABCD is the password. Now if the both login and password both are correct, I want to redirect. So here I'm adding the response.redirect between double quotes admin panel, so tilt admin folder, the folder name. After that, we have to add the admin panel. Let's copy this one, /admin.aspx page. Else, in the else part, if the admin login fails, I want to redirect to the same page, admin login page. So response.redirect between double quotes, I'm adding admin login.aspx page. this one, copy this one, semicolon. The admin credentials are working or not. First let's check the admin credentials are working or not. Google Chrome. So let's enter the admin login. The login is the admin and the password is ABCD login. And here we redirect to the admin panel. If I enter the admin and the password, I am entering the wrong password. If I click login, see it's redirect to the same page, admin login page. If I enter the admin with the correct password ABCD login, we redirect to the admin panel. Here in this project I am not showing how to create the login and logout with the database because this project is very lengthy. That's why I have already created how to create the custom login and logout with SQL Server database. You can find those videos, custom login and logout with SQL Server database, in my channel ASP.NET playlist. So let's continue to our project. In the admin panel, let's add the block details. Again switch back to the coding part, stop debugging. Now switch to the admin panel. Now after the horizontal line, I am adding the table. The table border is equals to 1 tr. In the table data, the first one is the blog title td. In the td I am adding the text box control. Open toolbox, come to the bottom, text box control, and I'm changing the text ID txt title. Let's add the txt blog title, and next tr td. In the next td I'm adding block category td. The block categories, we have 3 categories. One is a food, second one is sports, and the third one is the movies. These 3 categories I want to display in a drop down list control. So open toolbox, I am adding the drop down list control. Here it is, the drop down list. I am changing the drop down list ID ddl block category cat. In the drop down list, we'll add the list item. The first list item is a food. The second list item is sports, and the third one ASP list item is the movies. What I'm doing, I want to display first the block category. Instead of block title, I want to display first block category. After selecting the block category, then I'm adding the block title. And now I'm adding the block description. Block description td. Again add the text box control. I'm changing the ID txt blog description, and the text mode, blog description text mode is multi-line. After that tr, the blog URL td blog URL, it's a website page name, web page name td. I'm adding the text box control. I'm changing the ID to txt blog URL. And the last one, after the blog URL, let's check the we have the posted date, so let's add that one also. td posted date td. I'm displaying the td. I'm adding a simple label button control, label control. Here is the label control, label blog posted date, and the text I'm removing. Now after the table, I'm adding one horizontal line. After the horizontal line, I'm adding a simple button control to save the blog details into the blog table. Open toolbox, button control. Let's change the button ID. The button submit, but submit ID is the, and the text label I'm changing to save. The button name is a save. So after that, switch to the design mode. Now double click the button control, and here we got the button submit click event. Now first in the page load, once the page load, I want to display the posted date in the label control. If not, page.is post back, I'm adding the label posted date.text is equals to template. It's a text is equals to date time dot now dot toString method. After that, I want to add the default label to the drop down list control. So dd drop down list id dot items dot insert. The insert method takes two parameters. The first one is the integer index. The index value is 0 because I want to display the label, comma, and the list item between double quotes, select category, semicolon. Now let's write the coding part. Using system.data, the namespace to connect the SQL Server connection. Using system.data.SQL client, and the last namespace using system.configuration. Now in the button click event, let's write the code string main con is equals to configuration manager dot connection strings between double quotes. Between these double quotes, I am adding my connection string name, which is in the web.config file is my connection. Let's add that one, dot connection string, and SQL connection SQL con is equals to new SQL connection. In this SQL connection, I am adding the object main con string SQL query is equals to, here the SQL query is the insert statement. We are inserting the data, insert into the blog name. Copy this one, paste here. The column names, the first one blog title b title, comma, the second one is a B category, copy that one, paste here, and the third one blog description, copy that one, paste here, comma, and the fourth one blog URL, copy that one, paste here, and the last one blog posted date, copy that one, the column name, and paste here in the insert statement. After that, the values at the block title at block category at block description at blog URL, which is a web page name, at the last one is a blog posted date. Semicolon. So after adding the SQL query, let's open the SQL connection, open method, and as well as I'm adding the close method to close the connection string. Now between this open and connection, SQL command SQL com is equals to new SQL command. The SQL command takes two parameters. The first one is the command text, which is the SQL query, comma. The second one is the connection object, which is the SQL com. Copy and paste here. Then SQL com dot parameters dot add with value. The add with value, between double quotes, I am adding the value we are getting from this at b title, comma, and the object we are entering the value from the text box control. So here the object value is a text box ID, the text txt block title dot text property. Let's copy this one. The next we are adding the block category, drop down list dot selected item dot text property dot toString method. Then the next one is a block description. Let's add the text box of the block description, txb, and the next one is a blog URL, which is a text box control, blog URL text, blog URL dot text, and the last one is a posted date. Let's copy this one, paste here, copy the b posted date column name, the label name, the posted date. So after that, after we adding the values, then SQL com dot execute non-query method. Then I want to redirect. After that, I'm adding the redirect. After close, response dot redirect method, between double quotes, the redirect method to the admin panel only, between double quotes. I want to redirect the same page after the details are inserted successfully. So tilt, between forward slash, I'm adding the folder name admin and admin hyphen panel.aspx page. That's it. We have done the coding part to insert the block details into this block table. Let's insert some block details into this block table. Switch to the admin login page, Google Chrome. So let's enter the admin credentials. Admin login is admin only, admin, and the password is the ABCD login. So after login successfully, we are redirected to the admin panel, and here we got the block details. The block category, we have 3 items. Let's select the block category. I'm selecting the food category, and the block title is butter chicken. How to cook butter chicken, and the below description traditional Indian Punjabi dhaba style butter chicken is the description, and the web page name is the butter chicken.aspx page. And this butter chicken.aspx page we have not added to our project, but after save these details, we'll create a new butter chicken, the web page name, into the food folder. And below that we got the posted date with time. Let's insert the details. Save. And the records are inserted successfully in the block table. Let's check in our SQL Server database table also. I'm executing the table, and here we got the blog details. The blog ID is one, blog title, the category, description, blog URL, and posted date. Now my next step is, once the articles are inserted successfully, in the default.aspx page I want to display the blog articles, and also in the category I want to display the number of articles in the food and how many articles in the sports and the movies. I want to display the numbers here. Right now we have article on food 1, so I want to display here the 1 here. So let's write the coding for this category to display the number of articles, as well as I want to display the blog information in the default.aspx page. So first let's close the old tabs, go to the coding part, stop debugging, open Solution Explorer. Let's create the 3 folders: food, movies, and sports. Right click the project name, add new folder, is a food, and next folder, right click the project name, add folder, sports, and the last one is the movies, add new folder, movies. Now in the food we have a web page URL which is the butter chicken. So let's copy this URL, copy this one, select the food folder, right click the mouse, add here the web form with master page, I'm adding the butter chicken, I'm deleting .aspx page, click OK, and I'm selecting our master page which is a home.master. OK. And here we got the butter chicken.aspx page. Let's add the title, butter chicken page article. Now after that I'm adding the home page for the food, movies, and sports. Right click the food folder again, add web form with master page. The web form name is a home. Okay, home.master, h3 is the food articles, and this home page is related to the food articles only. Let's add another one in the movies. Right click the movies, add the form with master page, home. Okay, home.master. Okay, h3 movies articles. Home page. And the last one, I'm adding the home page for the sports also. Web format master page home. I'm selecting the master page home.master. Okay. H3. Let's add the heading. Movies, sports articles, home page. Now let's open the master page, home.master. In the home.master, and notice the category, the food. I want to display here the number of articles. Right now we have article on food. Right now we have one food article, which is a butter chicken. So I want to display here the article numbers. So right click the mouse, go to view code. First add the namespaces using system.data, using system.data.sql client, and the last namespace using system.configuration. And then in the page.event, string main con is equals to configuration manager.connection strings. Between double quotes, I'm adding in the web.config file my connection. Copy this one and paste here. Dot connection string SQL connection. SQL con is equals to new SQL connection. I'm adding the object name main con. After that, string SQL query. Here the SQL query to count the number of articles, between double quotes, select the count. In the count function, I'm adding case when the column name is B category. I want to count the category, the columns is equals to single quotes food, then one end. Now let's count the sports category. Copy this one, paste here. Count case when B category is sports, then one end, adding sports. And the last one, count case when B category is movies. Let's copy this one and paste here. From the table name dbo.blog, copy that one, paste here, semicolon. SQL con.open method. Let's close the connection string, close method. Now between this open and close, I'm adding SQL command. SQL com is equals to new SQL command, which takes two parameters. The first one is the command text, which is a SQL query, comma. The second one is the connection object, which is the SQL con. Now after that, SQL data reader SDR is equals to SQL com dot execute a reader method. If SDR dot read method. Now I want to read the data in the label controls, so I can switch to the home.master page. Home.master page. Here in this, after the span, inside the span, I'm adding the literal controls. Let's add the label control here. Label control. I'm deleting the label text. Label food. Let's copy this one. And second span is the sports. Change the label ID is lab sports. And the last one is the lab movies. So after we're adding the labels, I want to display the records into the labels. So the first one is lab food dot text is equals to sdr dot get value, the integer value 0 dot toString method lab second one is a sports dot text is equals to sdr dot get value 1 dot toString method lab sports dot text is equals to sdr dot get value 2 dot toString method. That's it. We have written the code to display the number of articles in the list items. Now open default.aspx page. I want to display the article details in this default.home page. I want to display the articles in the repeater control in this default.home page. So let's add the horizontal line first. After that, let's add the div container. In this div container, I am adding the repeater control. Open toolbox, minimize the standard folder. I am expanding the data folder. In the data folder, there is a repeater control. Add that one. The repeater control ID I am changing to repeater blog details. Now in this repeater control, I am adding the item template. Now between this item template, I want to display my blog details like the blog title, description, URL, the post date. So first I am adding the b tag. Between this b tag, I am adding percentage hash eval method. Between double quotes, I am adding the between these double quotes, I am adding the column name, which is the b title. Copy that one, paste here. Now let's add some style to this block b tag. Background image linear gradient hash. I'm adding the black color, comma white, semicolon. Now after adding the title, next I want to display the blog description. I'm adding between the p tags percentage hash eval method. Between double quotes, I'm adding the blog description. Now in this p tag, I'm adding some style. Class is equals to, I'm adding the bootstrap class card text. After adding the title and description, now I want to display the blog URL to read the article. So for that, I'm adding the href link. Href is equals to, between double quotes, tilt / the category we're getting from, so hash percentage hash eval method. In this eval method, between double quotes, I'm adding the category name. Now between these double quotes, I'm adding the category name, which is a big category. Then the URL, percentage hash eval method, between double quotes, the web page name, b URL. complete article. And I'm adding the style to this href, the same eval. And the last one, I want to display the posted date of this article. I'm adding due tag. In this due tag, now in this due tag, I'm adding the bootstrap class, card footer, text meter, posted on, percentage hash, well, between double quotes, I'm adding the column name of the posted date. And if you notice, in the posted date, we have the time, we have the date and time also. So I want to display only the date. So let's format the date, comma, between double quotes, the curly braces, 0 colon. I want to display the only the date, posted date, capital M, which is a month, small dd, comma, I'm adding the year YYY. And after that, after we adding the date, I want to display the category of the article. The category is related to food or movies or sports. href is equals to, I'm adding this part instead of writing the category. Copy this one, paste here. The category here is a home.aspx page. If you notice, in every category we have a home.aspx page. In the food folder we have a home page. In the movies we have got the home page, as well as in the sports also we got the home page. So I want to display the related category home page after the posted date. Percentage hash eval, between double quotes, I'm adding the category name, which is a B category. Copy that one, paste here. That's it. We have added the necessary details in the repeater control. After that, after the div, I'm adding the horizontal line. Now let's bind this repeater control with the SQL Server database. Right click the mouse, view code. First we'll add the namespaces using system.data, semicolon, using system.configuration, and using system.data.sql client. After adding these three namespaces, now in the page load, string main con is equals to configuration manager dot connection string. Between double quotes, I'm adding my connection string name. In the web.config file we have my connection. Copy this one, paste here, dot connection string, semicolon, SQL connection, SQL con is equals to new SQL connection. I'm adding main con. After that, string SQL query is equals to, here the SQL query is to display the records from the table. So select start from, the table name is dbo.blog. Copy that one, add here. And in the blog, I want to display the latest articles on the top. So I'm adding the order by the posted date, the column name be posted date, descending order, posted date, the order I want to display in the descending order, DSC, descending order. SQL con.open method, SQL con.close method, SQL command, SQL com is equals to new SQL command, which takes two parameters. The first one is a command text SQL query, comma SQL connection object. This object name. SQL data adapter, SDA is equals to new SQL data adapter. In the SQL adapter, I am adding SQL com object. Data table, DT is equals to new data table. SDA.fill method. I am filling the data with the data table object. The last will bind the data table with the repeater control. So repeater block details dot data bind method and repeater block details dot data source. The data source we are getting from the data table object DT. That's it, we have done the complete coding part. Let's check the output. The default.aspx page on Google Chrome. And here we got the output, the default homepage which displays the blog articles. Here we got the styles which I don't require, so let's delete that one. Stop debugging. Let's delete the styles, the blog style, and this one also for the blog URL. Now let's check again Google Chrome. And here we got a new output in the default homepage which displaying the blog articles. Right now we have only one article. If you notice in the category, the full, it's showing one. And this is the blog title. Below that we have the blog description, and we have a href link which takes the blog article, and below that the blog posted date with the blog category full. So when I click the read the complete article, oops, we have added the tilt here, so we don't require the tilt. So let's delete that one also. Here the tilt, delete that one, and one more tilt is here, delete that one also. Now we'll check the output again, Google Chrome. Now let's click the article, read the complete article. See, here we got the butter chicken page article. Now let's convert these labels into href links and the menu links also. Switch to the coding part, stop debugging, master home page, where it is, the home.master, go to top, first in the class href, pick URL. The home page is a default.aspx page, and second one we need to add the runnet server. Runnet is equals to server, and the second one the full article home page, and runnet is equals to server. The sports one, pick URL, sports home.aspx page, run it is equals to server, and the last one is the movies, pick URL, movies, home.aspx page, run it is equals to server. Now I want to add the href links for these labels also. Instead of adding this one, I'm just copying this part, and the food label a tag. Next one, sports, href link, paste here, and the last one for the movies, copy this one, paste here. That's it. After adding the href links to the master page, now in the home.aspx page for the food articles, now in this home.aspx page, which is related to the food home page, I want to display only the food articles in this home page. So let's add, instead of adding the repeater control we already created in the default page, default.aspx page, here it is. Let's copy this one, the whole part, home, which is a food article, horizontal line, paste here, right click the mouse, go to view code. I'm adding the namespaces, default.aspx page. These three namespaces I have to add in the home.aspx page. In the page load, I'm adding the same code, but only the select query has been changed. Select start from dbo.blog. Here the condition is select start from dbo.blog, where the blog category is equals to, between single quotes, I'm adding food. It fetches the records from the blog which is related to the food category articles only. Now the second one, and the next one, the sports home page. In the sports home page also the same thing, I'm adding the repeater control. Copy this one, the sports repeater control, right click the mouse, go to view code. I'm adding the namespaces, and in the page load, copy this one, paste here. Instead of food, I'm adding sports. And the last one is the movies. In the movie homepage, horizontal line, home.aspx, copy this one, right click the mouse, view code. Let's add the namespaces, copy this one, paste here. On the page load, instead of sports, I'm adding movies. That's it, we have done the complete coding part. Now let's add some web pages to the folders. In the food folder, we have one article, butter chicken. Let's add another article, web form page, web form with master page. This one I'm adding food article 2. Okay, I'm selecting the master page. H3, this is food article 2. I'm adding a horizontal line. In this web page we can write the food related article. Now right now we have 2 articles in the food folder, and let's add one web page, web form with web page in the movies folder. Movies 1 is the web page name. Okay, I'm selecting the master page, home.master. H3, this is movie 1 page, movie 1 article. And in the sports folder I have only home page, but I am not adding any article pages in this sports folder. So in the sports folder we have 0 articles. In the movies folder we have 1 article, which is the movies1.aspx page. And in the food folder we got 2 articles, one is butter chicken and the second one is food article 2. Now let's check the final output. Admin login.aspx page, Google Chrome. I'm adding the admin credentials, admin, and the password is abcd login. And here we are, after successfully login, we are redirected to the admin panel. Right now we have only 1 article in our database, which is a food. If you notice here, 1, so which is this one. Which is this one. So let's select the second food article, food, and the block title, how to bake a cake. The post is related to the food, how to bake a cake, eggless cake. And the web page name, here we have already the web page name. Here the food article 2. Let's add the food article 2. Food article 2 .aspx page. And notice when I save this article, the food will become the 2 articles here. Save. So notice here the food is 2 articles we got. Let's check in the database. I'm executing the table. See, here we got the results. Right now this block contains 2 records, both are the food categories. Let's check in the default page also. In the default page I'm reloading the browser. So we got the food articles. So one is the how to bake cake and the second one is the how to cook the butter chicken. Now let's add the let's select the category movies. The block title is top 10 Hollywood movies. Article on top 10 best Hollywood movies list 2019 is the blog description and the blog URL. In the movies folder we have movies1.aspx page. So let's add that one, movies1.aspx page. Now when I save these details, the blog details, into blog table, the category movies contains one article here. Save. Here we got sports. Something went wrong. In the master page, let's open the master page. See here the lab sports. It's not lab sports. Here the lab movies. Now we'll check the default.aspx page, Google Chrome. And here we got our final output. And notice right now we got 3 articles, 2 food related and 1 movies related. And in the side, notice in the category we got food 2 and movies 1. If I click food, see we got here only the food related articles only. If we want the only movies, movies. Here if I click 2, we got the food articles. If I click movies 1, we got movie articles. Home, we display all the articles. If you want to read the article, read the complete article. See, this is the food article 2. Go back. And here we redirect to the butter chicken article. That's it. We have implemented to create a custom blog in ASP.NET with Bootstrap using SQL Server database.